In this video, we are going to go through Chapter 6, Exercise 3. So, when you see these orthographic views with your front, your top, and your side, I do want you guys to be able to work on envisioning this as a three-dimensional part. You know what the top view looks like, you know what the front view looks like, you know what the right view looks like. Can you, in your head, envision the finished product? We have like a little U shape here that's extruded a standard depth, and that there's no other cuts going on except a hole right here. So let's draw this part. Typically, we will start by drawing the front view as shown. So you're going to do a U shape. We'll have each grid be 1. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, over 9, up 6, over 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, back to the beginning. And then we see a hole visible from the top and a hole visible from the right side, but no hole on the front view. So we're going to go to Inventor, New Part, New Sketch, and we are going to draw that shape. Make sure you're at the origin, make sure you're perfectly horizontal, perfectly vertical, and what was that? I think it was 9. Zoom out a bit, press and hold the middle scroll wheel button to pan. Up 6, over 2, down 4, over 5, and as you go up here, you don't even need to type it in. As you go close, like watch what happens. It automatically locks it at 4 because it knows that you're likely to want to go back to the same height you were before. Same with this. You don't have to type in 2. You can kind of get close and then, you probably want to go right here. It's very smart with that. Same with this. 6. You probably want to go back to the beginning. Notice how I'm still in the line command, so you have to hit escape, and we can finish this sketch. We will extrude it, and we will extrude it a total of 6. Now, we want to do the hole command. Or, let me say that differently, we want to create some holes. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to create a hole. The first way is you can just create another sketch and cut it out. I will show you how to do that now. I'm going to do Start 2D Sketch, and when you create parts with multiple sketches, the first time you do it, you're given the 3 planes to choose from, right? Your XY, your XZ, your YZ. Each subsequent sketch is typically going to be drawn on a flat surface of the previous. So I'm going to do Start 2D Sketch, and notice how it doesn't give you like that little preview of your planes. It really is looking for you to say, okay, where do you want to draw this sketch on top of the part so far? And you can choose any of these surfaces. I'll do this surface right here. And I'm just going to create, I'm looking at the right view right now, right? A circle. And I'm going to do it way out here for proving a point. And I'm not going to tell it dimension. And you should remember from the last video that every single circle requires 3 dimensions in order to be able to fully dimension it. So we need 3 dimensions needed. We're going to go to Dimension, click on the line, pull it out. This one has a diameter of 2. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Next, you have to specify the location of it from the center to another line, and we'll do that now. Dimension, I'm going to go from the center of it, and you can either do the origin. In this case, I'm going to just show you, you can do a different way. I'll do this line. That distance ought to be 3. Boom. Do it again. From here to the bottom should be 4. Boom. And I'm going to finish the sketch, and I'm going to extrude it. Your extrusion might look a little different because you're using 2020, but it should relatively be the same. Now I don't want to go in that direction, so I'm look for where it gives you the option to go in the other direction. Now we have what's called extents. Inventor now is cutting it. Direction 2 is a cut, not a join, right? So I have the option to join, which is adding more material. I can also cut, which is removing material. Inventor typically knows which one you're probably likely to do, but you can always toggle it if it does not predict correctly. Extents is saying how far do you want this command to go through. You can choose between either extents, 2, and if you do the 2, it gives you like something to go up to. You can do 2 where you specify the plane that you want it to go to. You can do between 2 things. You can do all, or just straight up distance. Distance lets you specify how many units. In this case, we really want to do all. Because if we ever want to go back to edit this part, let's just say, for example, you did a distance and then I said 9. That works, right? But let's just say, for example, that we find out later that we want the overall sketch to be 10 units in length. It's going to still think that this should only be cutting 9 units. So you're going to have a problem with your design intent if you make changes. For the sake of this drawing, it doesn't matter. You know you're not going to make those kinds of changes. But in the real world, saying all does a better job of meeting the design intent. The intent is that you want the hole to go through the entire part. We're going to do all. That's one way to make a hole. For the other hole, I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to use my thing over here. And I want you guys to do Shift and hit the middle scroll wheel button. You should be able to do this. You're going to often want to be able to toggle like that. And I'm going to look at the top view, and I'm going to look at this way. I now want to create a hole, and I'm going to use the hole command. In 2020, it doesn't actually give you this same exact dialog box, but the functionality is the same. So in 2018, you had to specify the type of hole you want to create. There are a few different ways that a hole can be added. In this class, we're mostly going to be doing what's called linear or concentric. Linear lets you locate a hole by giving you 2 references. You want to locate the center of it by saying, okay, the center of this hole is 3 units from this line, and you specify that line. Concentric is, by definition, 2 circles that have the exact same center. Think of a target, right? A target is a series of many different circles, but each of the circles have the same center. We don't want to do a concentric hole right now, but we will definitely in the future. So I have to, in this version, select linear. In yours, you actually don't even have to. But you do have to select the face. So look at what Inventor is asking you to do. Notice how certain things are highlighted. That's the order that Inventor wants you to be commanding it. Face, I want the hole on this face. Reference 1, tell it the distance from a reference point. Your reference point could be any of these lines right here. You want to do a vertical reference and a horizontal reference, does not matter the order. From here, that distance should be, I'm looking at the top view, 3. Don't hit enter. If you hit enter, it thinks that you're done, but you haven't done the other reference. Reference 2 can either be this line, this line, this line, or this line. If you do the inside line, just got to make sure you get the right distance there. I'll do the outside line. And that should be halfway, and half of 9 is 4.5. You still have to specify the diameter. So I'm going to tell the diameter of that hole to be, looks like 3. And termination is through all. You do notice a bunch of other settings that you could choose. We'll get into these ones at a later class. Right now, we're just going to do a drilled simple hole that goes through all. You could do distance if you wanted, or 2, but through all meets our design intent. If you were doing multiple holes, you would hit apply, because hitting apply saves it, but it keeps the dialog box open. If you were only doing one hole and then you were done, you could have hit OK, which would save it and then kick you out of it. In this case, I'm just going to close this out because I am done. Save the part. This is chapter 6, exercise 3. And now we can go ahead to create our drawing file. So new, drawing. Remember how to adjust the sheet. You edit the size to go to size A. You get rid of the large title block. You add in the small title block. And you can add your base view. And while you're in here, you can even do the projections. When you're ready, you can hit OK. You can adjust the scale if it doesn't look good. And boom. Next, you will want to add your center marks and center lines. So you can go to Annotate, Center Mark, and you will click on all the circles for the center mark. And then let's do the center line now. We're going to do the center. You might be tempted to do the center line one, right? Makes sense. We're actually going to not use this right now. We will later in the year. But for now, we're going to do center line bisector, which creates a center line bisecting two edges. So in order to do that, you have to select the two edges, and then it'll automatically do it in the middle. Line 1, edge 2, boom. Edge 1, edge 2, boom. I'm not even going out of the command. We're doing this all 1, 2, boom. And let me just take a note for a second. These are hidden lines again, and the hidden lines are just showing you where there's something going on behind the scenes, right? It's hidden. This hidden line here is not a hole. So if you go back over here, right, if you look at it straight on, you have no idea from this view that there are those holes right there. That's why we have the hidden lines, and to show that the hidden line is indeed a circular hole, we add center lines. Now we are ready to start adding dimensions. Remember to try to keep your dimensioning rules as best as possible. I do not have an answer key in front of me, unfortunately, so let's hope I don't make a mistake. If I do by chance, I will clarify it upon realization. You want to have a overall length. You can even do that on the bottom. Remember, you do dimension, click point A, click point B. Make sure to always have a gap in between. Pull that out a little bit further. Okay. You want to specify this height right here. Remember, you can't do it, you cannot dimension to a hidden line, so I'm going to do it from here. And see, now I have to move this over, so I'm going to hit escape and then click and hold and drag it over. Make sure it's in the center, right? You don't want it like that. You don't want it overlapping each other. You want it nice and clean. Sometimes the preview where it becomes dashed like that is a good location for it. Okay. We're going to want to specify the length. Now, say, for example, I wanted this 2 on the other side, because there's not enough room for it to go in the middle. You could just do it and then, do it like that, and you can toggle it. Another thing you can do, I'm going to hit escape, is watch the order that I click things. Dimension, right, left. It goes on the right side. Hit escape. This time I'm going to go left, right. Just to save time, get more efficient. I'm going to keep the 2 on the inside. I think that it makes it look a little bit cleaner. Keep those lined up. You don't want it something like that. It's better to keep it lined up. Okay. What else? We definitely need to specify the diameter of these holes. You can always move them later if they get in the way. And the way I kind of self-check is you ask yourself, could I draw this with the information given? Over 9, up 6, over 2, down 4, because of 6 minus 2, over 5, because 9 minus 2 minus 2, so I can draw that, good. I can extrude it 6, good. I know the diameters of these holes, good. Now I just have to locate the holes. Remember, you need 3 dimensions per circle. So I'm going to say from the edge to right here, you can do it that way. You can say from the bottom to here. Oh, I guess it didn't work. Hit escape, try it again. Is 4. And I'm going to go from here to here is 3. And then I'm just going to clean that up because now it's kind of in the way. Nope, I don't like that. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let me see if I'm trying to find like the cleanest place for it. Oh, that looks decent. You don't want to get like too close. Like if I did something like that, that's too close to getting confusing. You kind of want it as close to 45 as you can do. Like that's okay. I mean, if you could avoid crossing dimensions, it's probably better, even though that's not technically a rule. This is okay, but now you're getting a little bit further from the part. You know, pick which one looks good and is violating the least amount of rules. Is kind of, I think I like that over there. Now I can locate this circle. It goes all the way through. And then I have to locate this circle over here. I'm going to go from here to down. That's 3. Good. Make sure you have gaps everywhere. And then finally, you're going to go from here to here, which is 4.5. And you don't need to have the gap right there because the gap is to the center mark. I think that's it. Sweet. As always, here's your final answer. Your answer key is given. I give you every answer you need to know in this class up until the final. We are good. We can now save it. Save as. Same name. And then you can create export your PDF. Same name. And we are golden. All right, that concludes Chapter 6, Exercise 3.